Purges, a yearly tradition in which angels of the exorcist branch would descend from the heavens, led by Adam, humanity's first spear, to slaughter the encroaching demon horde to prevent the potential of an uprising. It was something the dwellers of hell only reluctantly accepted, mostly driven by their own bloodlust, hoping to gain one or two of the left-behind celestial weapons. Weapons so powerful they could permanently kill the soul and remove them entirely from the afterlife cycle of death and rebirth. Of course, this was a very romanticized description of it all, but was essentially a culling of people who already passed away and had been sent to the worst place possible. An ill wind had been blowing through hell's streets. You could tell this purge was going to be terrible. With your group of loyal, technically boyfriends around you, you had felt quite safe. You were a well-liked breed of sinner-born lust demons called vixens, with 3 X's, a subspecies of fox demons. You had a voluptuous womanly body, with unbelievably silky smooth red fur. In fact, the white tip of your bushy red tail was so soft it caused an instant orgasm in lesser-trained males. It was fun accidentally brushing against random guys on the street. The ones who turned into blubbering messes sometimes even got a little kiss from you for entertaining you so much. You had piercing green eyes that glowed in a dangerous red whenever you got mad. You were fierce and motherly at the same time. Or, as one of your boyfriends had put it, the hottest big sister he never had. There was, however, one rule among your little harem. Never meet one of your boyfriends while on a date with one of the others, as that usually led to needless bloodshed, even though they were as mutually understanding due to your nature as a lust demon as they could be. You had far stronger needs and desires than any other. But no amount of boyfriends was keeping you safe tonight. As an exception, you had gathered them all around you in an abandoned building, safety in numbers and all. And you promised everyone who survived would get 24 hours with you, order taken by how safe they had made you feel. The purges themselves lasted roughly 24 hours, and they were very strict about that. An angel could be right before you, and if the clock hit 12, they would just sigh and leave. Maybe give you a hate-filled look, but that's that. After you had a little party that quite literally exploded by the angels, your survival was top priority to your boyfriends. But one by one, the numbers dwindled over the bloodshed-filled night, leaving you alone, chased by one of the exorcists. Her cackling had haunted you for a while, and eventually, you had been cornered. The angel had her spear raised, her mask turned into a grotesque smile. Shivering, you revealed your own weapon, a machete, old yet sharp. Your preferred tool to enact punishment, and a trash can lid as a shield. The angel's head tilted, raising a brow. She didn't taunt you, seemingly admiring your bravery or foolishness, though in reality she was suppressing a laugh. That even now, out of breath, chased for hours through the streets, you'd still try and fight with mere scrap metal? But you surprised the angel. You clumsily dodged her attacks, making it almost look easy, and she felt insulted. Of course, with the spear she had the reach advantage, but a lucky parry with the trash can lid left her open for a counterattack. Quickly you swiped. Just barely your blade cut into the angel's right wing, making her flinch. Golden blood spraying on the ground. The angel hissed. "How dare you, you slut!" She charged forward, so enraged that even you could call it a blind attack. Easily you sidestepped her, slashing her back, making her drop her weapon in pain. Ah! She went down on her knees, shaking. A hubris that made her weak. But just as you got ready to stab her, she dodge-rolled like a video game character. Hungry salvia flowing out of her mouth. So violently angry. She had trained for decades, fought for decades. This wasn't even her first purge. How careless she had gotten. This was the first time someone wounded her. She made another attempt at poking you with the celestial weapon, when a male voice called out, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what in the hell is going on here?" Your eyes widened. A male angel had descended. He gave you a venomous look before gently petting the exorcist. "Come on, can't let a nice piece of ass like you go to waste. Go to Heart for some bandages, okay? I'll deal with this one." "Okay, sir," she groaned. And he made finger guns. "Later tonight I kiss those boo-boos away. Got it?" The angel blushed pleased. "Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Thank you, sir." With a big blush, the angel jumped up, flying away. "All right, now." The man turned around with a shit-eating grin. "You actually managed to hurt one of us." He looked you up and down. Shame that you're a demon. You'd be a good angel, especially with a kick-ass body like that." You were unsure as to how to react to that. "I tell you what, sweet tits. I'll make you my last kill for the purge. Your death is gonna save countless other demons. How does that sound? Sound nice? Good." From beneath his robe, he pulled out 2 golden swords. "So at least squeal for me, alright? Pretty sure you know how to do that." He didn't give you a second to prepare. He immediately charged you, swinging both swords with such ferocity and ease, like they were just simply long feathers. Your body pumping both adrenaline and endorphins at a rate similar to a lovey-dovey orgy with 5 guys, you're able to dodge his attacks. His blade's only able to cut off a few strands of your fur. After a feint attack of his that you couldn't predict, he managed to stab you in the left shoulder. The pain was blindingly powerful. Your black blood spraying out of the wound. Hissing in pain, your fingers let go of the trash can lid shield. As they were now uncontrollably twitching, the wound burned like acid was being pushed in there. By the way, did I forget to mention? Wounds caused by our weapons never fully heal. It's like an STD. You got it for life, babe. The angel taunted, and you smirked. Good thing down here, STDs aren't a problem. You swung, taking the angel by surprise. He really thought he had you now. Of course, you just barely grazed one of his feathers, but you were still impressed. It was then, from somewhere above the 2 of you, a shout came. Master, do you require assistance? For a moment, less than a second, he considered. Nah, I solo this one. She's giving me a great workout. Go, Lute, I can do this alone. After the angel left, he grinned at you. Man, I can't wait to fuck you up good. He made a spin attack that came so fast that once again you barely dodged it. It took you a moment, but you felt something hot run down your right cheek. A small chunk of bloody red fur on the ground, indicating he just cut off one of your ears. This? I fucking love this. Ugh. Was there ever a guy that enjoyed his job more than me? Right after he said that, the pain on your right exploded, like in a bad anime. You winced and went down on your knees, screaming. It hurt so much. It felt like someone was holding your ear under the flame of a lighter, even though the thing had been severed. But deep down, your screams no longer were from pain. It was to induce your demonic transformation. As the rage-filled cries reached the angel's ear, he moved his slender fingers like a conductor of your suffering. But, like most demons, you could call upon this more powerful form. Normally these didn't last long, and only overlords with a lot of soul contracts could maintain it for as long as they desired. But this was no longer about survival for you. You didn't care if after this you were so exhausted you passed out and an angel just took free pickings. You just wanted this loudmouth to be stuffed. Your fur blackened as your appearance became less fox and more wolf-like. Thick, sharp black claws bursting out of your fingertips, dripping with sizzling hot blood. A second row of teeth burst out of your gums, and your eyes set ablaze. And yet, the angel wasn't intimidated. No, he used this opportunity to cheer. Oh my god, second face. You didn't tell me you have a second face. Holy shit, I'm pitching a tent here. I love this kind of stuff. Howling, you rushed the angel. His moves, now that your body was pumping more blood, more adrenaline, more endorphins, more rage, they seemed slowed. Yet still your brutal swipes just barely missed their mark. But one thing was for sure. He was getting out of breath. Your aggression had tripled. He was now more on the defense than the offense, and he hated that. He hated you wouldn't back down. He hated having to defend himself. He hated that you weren't even an overlord. He hated that he was getting kinda turned on by this. And by you. And as those thoughts waltzed through his brain like a road roller, he felt a sudden resistance and a sharp pain in his arm. A pain he hasn't felt since God himself tore out one of his ribs to create the first human woman. The tip of one of your claws just barely managed to penetrate the skin of his left wrist during another devastatingly powerful swipe attack. A thin line of golden blood pushed out of the wound. It was nothing more than a mere paper cut. The angel's left eye twitched. Hundreds of thoughts going on in his brain at once. as you calculated the situation. Which was fortunate for you, as you failed to notice that right after this moment, your attacks lost almost all their momentum. You had put everything into that swipe. You were going for the kill. And yet you only managed to just barely graze the angel. As if the entire battle had played in slow motion, it now returned to regular speed. And you unceremoniously landed face first in the mud, body rapidly turning back into its regular form. Your breaths came shallow and uneven. Meanwhile, the angel sheathed his swords, holding up his wounded hand to inspect it in the light. And to his shame, a single drop of blood was shed. With a neutral expression, he placed a foot on your back. In moments like this, usually rain starts falling. What a shithole you live in. Can't even do a dramatic effect to save its life. He spit on the ground next to you. His voice had changed. No longer mocking. He was deadly serious now. Though, he had been taking this serious from the very beginning. He just hid it very well. To piss you off. To take you off guard. And maybe it was a sort of coping mechanism as well. Listen careful, sugar tits, he said, into the bloody hole where your ear had been. All sounds, all sensations felt so raw through the ear hole now. It was so unimaginably painful. You placed something in your hand. Your thumb grazed over it. Paper, you thought. My business card. You have 5 seconds to read it. 1, 2, 3. You pulled the card up to your face, your entire body aching. It read, Adam, first spear on Earth, has chosen you as a fuck buddy. Your tail twitched angrily. Call the number below for a good time. You growled that intentionally. In 20 minutes the purge will be over, sugar tits. And during these 20 minutes, I will be calling for 20 angels. He chuckled. Survive these 20 minutes and maybe we smash. You earned a good dicking after this display. Growling, you got on all fours, almost throwing him off of you. Licking your furry sharp teeth, you glared at him. Are you even realizing what you're asking? Me? A vixen of hell? I'm going to ruin that prick of yours. You'll never want to even look at one of your precious angel pussies anymore after I ran through you. He flashed his teeth in an angry, toothy grin. Well, make me. He snapped his right hand and was instantly gone, replaced by a small army of 20 angels, all looking surprised at the sudden teleportation. A surprise you took to your advantage to run. Run faster than you had ever run. Hurt, bleeding, exhausted. The howling, hissing, cackling angels right behind you. One of them with a heart filled with rage and pride threw a spear. It grazed your hip. Blood spewing out of the wound. In full panic, you grabbed the heavy lid of a sewer pipe, threw it off, and jumped down into the murky, stinky grime as a last resort. Closing your eyes, holding your mouth and nose shut, You remained there. A noise from above indicating that the angels moved past you. They didn't realize you immediately jumped into the sewage. They actually thought you were running on the side. Oh God. You won! You didn't know how long you remained there though. But eventually the disgust was so big you had to surface. Shivering, covered in stinking goo, you climbed out of the same hole you had jumped through minutes ago. Each step you took releasing a squelch. Defeated, you fell on all fours and vomited. Hey. Using your left claw, you swiped away some of your hairs, only to look at the white boot of an exorcist. But she wasn't holding a spear anymore, and yet her eyes were narrowed with pure hatred. Just then the tower clock rang, indicating the end of the purge. The angel didn't extend a hand to help you stand. She just looked down on you. Don't think just because he invited you to fuck means you are special in any way. The silence between the two of you could be cut with a knife. Puffing up your cheeks, you swiped some brown globs off of your head at the angel. She didn't react at you dirtying her boots and a bit of her legwear. What? Jealous? That Daddy wants to try something else? Your Holiness? Scared you will like it more than you? She kicked you right in the face. I'm just telling you the truth, you pompous bitch. She slammed her boot into your neck, forcing your face into your own vomit. Eat shit and die. It was 3 days later. You had spent the day after the purge under the shower in a fetal position, watching your black blood from your still open wounds whirl into the drain. Your entire body was in pain. You had found shelter in one of your now former boyfriend's apartments, licking your wounds. Your hips, shoulders, and right side of your face bandaged up. As expected, the wounds closed incredibly slowly, and your ear showed no sign of regeneration. But worst of all were your needs. You felt too wounded, too scared to leave the apartment and find new male attention, new partners, new boyfriends, at least for now. You gritted your teeth, watching your favorite actor Angel Dust's entire catalog on repeat just to keep you from despairing. Though there was still one thing, one person, one number you could call. Shivering, you got up on your feet, shuffling over to your new Vox-Tag mobile phone, pulling out the golden business card. You sighed. You had thrown away your dignity multiple times already, but this felt on a whole nother level. And then you typed. Though instead of someone picking up, a portal opened behind you, displaying golden clouds and a glass road stretching before you. Sighing one last time, you step through. Huh. A strange feeling was overcoming you. Was this peace? All pain was gone, and your bandages crumbled into golden dust, revealing freshly healed scars. You weren't tired anymore. If anything, you felt like you had been reborn. You felt good. Great, even. You looked around. Though there was an ocean of clouds before you, behind you was a golden gate. An angel was humming a tune behind a small desk, a large book before him. So this was heaven. Huh. You took a single step forward, leading to the angel noticing you. He waved at you. "Good evening, little soul. First and last name, please?" You blinked, opening your mouth, almost saying your chosen name in hell, Dazzy. But before a sound left your lips, you hung your shoulders. "It's been a long time. I forgot. I don't remember." You had traded the memory of your real name long ago to a deal maker. You didn't even remember who. At the time, you didn't realize just how much power you were giving away simply by doing that. The angel tilted his head, but he smiled. "You are not meant to be up here, right?" You shook your head. "How did you get here?" Embarrassed, you held up the business card. Petrus, the angel, took a step away from the desk. "Oh dear, the last time he did this was, I think, 200 years ago. Look, your kind is usually not allowed here. Just let me call him really quick and make absolutely sure you didn't, lie. You nodded quietly. Petrus took a few steps away, out of earshot. Judging by his gestures, however, he was in a heated debate with Adam, ending with the angel sighing in defeat. He returned to the desk. "You are hereby officially invited to enter heaven temporarily. Just, he blinked. Please pretend like you actually belong here, okay? We don't want to worry anyone. And we don't want a whole fuss made about this. Please. And no words to the seraphim." Though your colors and smile were dead giveaways, thought the angel, this could work. It worked 200 years ago. Still, once Adam appeared behind the gate 5 minutes later, you were let inside. "Man, you must really have missed me, huh? It's been just 3 days. You crossed your arms and hissed. "I mean, you killed all my boyfriends. What else can I do?" "Oh, yeah. Whatever." He now got up in your personal space, his face pressing against your snout. "You're lucky you're alive." "In fact, I could kill you where you stand, right here and right now. No one would bat an eye. But I'm not gonna do that. You called me for a good time, and a good time I wanna give you." Heaven looked pretty, maybe a bit too bright. Though you were surprised, some of the non-heaven-born angels here were quite furry. Come to think of it, Adam himself looked a little demonic too. Your eyes focused on a very handsome minotaur guy with a pretty little blue halo and angel wings. You'd do him. Your theory right now was that no matter heaven or hell, in the afterlife, your body just turned into whatever felt like you enjoy the most. To walk around in for the rest of eternity. Shaking your head. No staring, don't put attention on you, you thought. You followed Adam quietly into a tall, golden building. Inside of glass elevator, you leaned against the wall. So, what do you think, Much better than your shithole, I assume? Ah, too bad you can't live here. After all, hell is forever. I actually wrote a song about that. Do you want to hear it? You snickered and shook your head. Well, actually, I think this is all a little tacky here. Reminds me of my grandma's old place. Adam wasn't offended, but he still didn't like your comment. I'm surprised someone like you ever had a family long enough to remember anything from them. You rolled your eyes and scoffed. Not all demons have mommy and daddy issues, you know. He raised an eyebrow skeptically. What? I didn't say I didn't have any daddy issues. He bit his lower lip, but then burst out into laughter, slapping you on the back a little too hard for comfort. Despite what the two of you were about to do, and despite the words exchanged, there was still a deep-seated hatred for each other. Just so you know, if I don't like your performance, I'll kill you on the spot. You snickered mockingly, but you didn't answer, which really annoyed him. Both of you entered a long hallway after the elevator stopped. This hotel? He rolled his eyes. Yeah, 'cause no one would take a dirty hole like you into their home. Gosh. No. This is just one of my love apartments. You groaned, annoyed. Ugh, that's a terrible pun. I know, that's the point. At the end of a long, blue-carpeted hallway, you were led into a gigantic apartment. It was more a loft, with white, golden, and black-colored extravagant furniture, as pompous as this prick. He stopped in the middle of what was basically his living room. God, the entire thing was the size of your dead boyfriend's apartment alone. You forced a smile. Let me guess, you got off on showing me how much better you guys have it up here. His facial expression turned evil. You know me well, Dazzy. Angrily, you took 2 long strides forward, grabbing him by his collar. Say my name again, and I bite off your tongue. I like that thigh, sugar tits, he said with narrowed eyes. I got more where that came from, Adam. Too bad I won't give you another chance to talk, sugar tits. He hissed before forcing his mouth on yours. Your eyes widened in surprise. His lips were soft, like baby skin, practically feminine. His tongue too smooth, too wet, too delicious, sweet like honey and milk. Aggressively it prodded into your mouth, past your lips. It was really hard to resist. One of his hands scratched against your muzzle, like an owner scratched their pet. Your eyes narrowed angrily. You had finally realized it. This wasn't just merely a simple curiosity for him, like it was for you. Maybe that's what the angel meant with you not being special. This was a fight, or more, a continuation on your tussle from a few days ago. Confidence suddenly filled your blackened heart. Well, in that case, you'd win. If he had been caring, gentle, and soft, you'd be a sobbing mess already. While you hated being topped, you were a sucker for lovey-dovey lovemaking. His fingers dug into your clothes, tearing them off easily, revealing your supple, bouncy flesh. Such a sinful body, he thought. Grunting, you pushed against him, your arms wrapping so tight around his hips, he hissed as air was pressed out of his lungs, your claws tearing at the belt of his robe, before you pushed him against his apartment's giant window with a loud thud, his horns cracking the glass through sheer force alone. But he liked that. He wanted to see what else you had hiding within you. That fire, that really was doing it for him. The angel raised a finger, and you pulled away. What? I was just getting into it, you barked. Let's keep going on my bed, shall we? He whispered. You sat at the edge of Adam's bed, cigarette in your mouth, casually smoking. Isn't morning already? Next to you on the bed, blanket pulled up to his chin, light Adam. He was shivering ever so lightly. Filled rubbers covering the floor around you. Were that 30? I think I counted 30. It was 31. He gasped in defeat. I had better. Now that hurt his ego. You could tell. Top 20. Can't put my finger on where, though. And your casual tone was making him rage. As you stood up to grab your discarded and torn clothes, he asked with fake confidence. So, same time next year? If you survive, that is. Only if you can then last 35 rounds, minimum. You said, chuckling. I can do that in 6 months. Shrugging, not thinking about the consequences of your actions, you carelessly said, deal. He gave you a look you couldn't quite pinpoint. It made you shudder. He snapped his fingers to open a portal. And just as you said, "Wait, hang on, that's not what I meant," you landed butt first on your bed in hell. Special thank you to my lovely darlings, Spammy, Raylan, Deathhund, Melofia, Muffin, Aruna, Chloe Rokenmo, Chariot Bunny, D's Nuts, Nicodemus D, Cat Cove, Kea Abyss, Bit, Sleeptown, Hella, Nexrist, AJ Anime Girl, and Hopeful. Thank you, my darlings, for your continued support. It's very much appreciated.